Are you tired of high-pressure tactics?
No, I'm not going to sign that. It's too much.
At Community Auto Group, you'll find we have a straightforward approach.
If other dealers have made you uncomfortable, give Community a try. You'll enjoy your experience here and find a straightforward deal that's right for you, not high-pressure tactics.
Community Auto Group, straightforward deals from the straightforward dealer.
Plays were called to the perimeter and not necessarily down the field. Was it the limitation of the personnel, or is it the limitation of the play calling?
Well, there's, I'm sure part of it was a limitation of the play calling. I mean, especially from cards and letters I got, so I'm sure that's part of it. But there's in all plays there are, there's aspects of vertical in all plays, and sometimes it's just having a better focus on giving that guy an opportunity. The other thing is, most of explosive plays in the passing game come off play action, because that's when you got a chance to freeze the secondary. Usually play action creates better protection. You can hold the ball longer. Guys can move down the field. So we've done a lot of things this spring where, hard play action and the receiver has a vertical decision to make at 16, whether or not he goes deep, sits down, turns in or out. All that takes time to do. But we've also tried to be very, very cognizant of giving our guys some opportunity to push the ball down the field.
Coach, coming off last year, do you feel
offense in the second year compared to last year with the whole new offense?
Yeah.
I mean, how do you feel that have they grasped it better? What do you
I think we're much further along at this point. Obviously, they've had a spring, a season, a spring, so. Some of the, conceptual things that you're trying to do, they have a better grasp of. So they're getting to it quicker, they're playing faster, and so I feel like, we're much closer to being on the same page, snap after snap, than we were last year.
How much do you have the personnel for the? Coach, you're talking about play action. We saw a lot of great catches by the tight ends just a couple weeks ago. How do you feel you want to use that? Is that going to?
I'd like for them to keep doing that, and so I think that we have a good group of tight ends. We've got tight ends that will allow us to put multiple tight ends on the field and maybe have two attached, but one of them could be deployed out wide. And again, you're creating some opportunities for the defense in the way they match personnel to try to create some advantages. So the tight ends need to be a big part of what we're doing.
How tough was last season for you personally?
it was the same guy?
Yeah, probably not. I mean, we may not know. May not know when the first game starts. We had a situation where we opened the season in 06, I think it is. We played two quarterbacks every 3 series for 2 weeks in a row. And then we made a decision and went with Colt. And so because some things you can't evaluate in practice because they're not going to get hit. So I just said extending plays is a part of it. And the first time the pocket breaks down, we blow them dead, which you have to do. But maybe they would have got out of that situation, and maybe that would have became a first down and you stay on the field. Some of those things you can't determine until you're playing live football. And so hopefully we will. Hopefully by mid-part of camp in August we'll be able to make a decision. But if not, we'll see where it goes.
Is that Muschamp? I'm sorry, I may screw it up. Was it Colton Muschamp? Who was the competition that year?
Jevin Sneed was.
Okay, thank you.
Are you comfortable with that kind of rotation, the two quarterback thing in a game, or?
I think everybody would rather have this as the guy, and I think we all would. But at the same time, if that guy has not emerged, then you need to evaluate both of them in live work, and we don't have exhibition games. So if that's the way it turns out that we have to do it, that's the way we'll do it.
How close is this race at quarterback?
It's close enough that they're taking every 2 snaps for 13 practices. They haven't separated, but I feel like they will. I feel like they will.
You said you got some cards and letters.
So, what else? I'm sorry.
Run game. How's it look this spring?
We are, we're committed to running the football, and so it's been nice to have two backs the whole spring. Mark and Damon have both made every practice, and so that gives you an opportunity to wear on the defense. It also gives you an opportunity because of their abilities to put the two of them in the game, and maybe you're in two backs or maybe you're in one back. And so again, when some defenses, everything they do is personnel driven to match properly. And so if you put that personnel on the field and then you're in one back, they don't like that. It's not that they don't know how to match it, they do, but they may be asking a linebacker to play in space that they don't want him to play in. So, those are things that, you can create some advantages, hopefully offensively. But both of those guys have done a good job, and I'm very pleased with where they're at right now.
Wide receivers, do you think right now have secured a spot in the rotation, maybe for the fall? Is Cavante the only one, or Cavante and Tevin?
Cavante for sure is a guy that has played a bunch of ball, and it was good to have him back Saturday. And he's an experienced guy, and he communicates well on the field. If we played Saturday or if we played last Saturday, the three guys that we would have started in that personnel grouping would have been Tavon Smith, Cavante Martin Manley, and Donald Shumpert.
Coach, you guys are still waiting on 5 receivers, and it seemed like we saw some struggles a couple weeks ago. I mean, do you feel you guys still haven't seen the whole picture of what you have at receiver yet, or what have you seen so far?
Well, we've told the freshman receivers that some of them are going to get an opportunity to come in and show what they can do. At the same time, I would caution that they're freshmen, and freshmen are freshmen, and so. Maybe Tavon was a guy last year that was mature for his age, and he did get to play some, and he's a much better player now because of it. So maybe one or two of those guys, hopefully one or two of those guys will be able to come in and offer some help.
Pat, last question.
That was it.
Okay, thanks, Coach.
Thank you, guys.
Get Coach Parker up here.
Appreciate the good day you have today. Is it sunny and warm out there? A little bit. I don't know. I haven't seen it, but that's good. Just to tell a little bit about where we're at going into the 13th practice here. I'm very comfortable with the last couple of days of practice. I thought we had our units are played with a lot of energy and played with unity, I thought, and a little bit of excitement the last 2 practices, and it took a while to get there. But I'm happy with that progress. Are we there and we close yet? We still have a long ways to go to play a game yet and to see it. But I just like the way the group is going. I think the front is progressing up front. The linebackers obviously are experienced, and they've got much better with Coach Reed handling the inside linebackers and LeVar outside. So I think that's really been working really well. And then basically in my role right now is also taking over the secondary, which has been good for me to get back in the room with the kids and teach them football. So that's been good. So it's kept me pretty busy and more involved in tune with the secondary. So I'm very happy at this stage where we're at, and we got 3 days here. We can get a lot of work done and see some jumps with some guys. So as of that goes, I'll leave it up to you.
Show quickness in getting to the quarterback at all, or?
I think there's some guys that have some knack to get there. I think Carl Davis obviously has an inside guy, and obviously Cooper as an inside guy can help you. And I think Dominic outside can hit you on the edge. But we might have to create some situations a little bit more to help them out, and maybe add some guys to the rush a little bit to help them out, because it's hard to get there when you got five guys blocking 4. So
The offense.
You know, it's hard to put a finger on it. It really is. We had injuries, but that's no excuse. So we just weren't clicking. We weren't consistent. That was the biggest thing. We showed signs that we could do it, but we definitely weren't consistent. That's what we're working on, being consistent.
Mark, I thought, how have things been going in spring ball? I mean, are you seeing things you like?
Yeah, it's been really good. You know, I've been improving, been working on details and working on technique and stuff like that. So it's been a good spring. It's gone fast, but it's been good.
Coach Davis said he has no clue who the starting quarterback is going to be at this point. Does the rest of the team take note of that? I mean, you guys comfortable with any of those guys back there? They're all taking reps.
Yeah, I'm definitely comfortable. I mean, they've all been coached by the same guy. They've all got good skills, good skill sets. So I'm not too worried about who's going to be playing there. I know they're going to do a good job.
What needs to come out of Saturday here with the scrimmage and that kind of thing? I mean, they're talking about they're going to keep some score of this, but what needs to come out of this?
Obviously, the offense needs to score more points than, I guess, the second offense or whatever. I don't know how it's going to go, but obviously we want to move the ball and score points on the defense, and that's something that we're going to focus on. But we're also going to focus on the things that we've been focused on all spring, being physical and being detail-oriented.
Austin, this transition from guard to center, is that?
Thank you. Does he talk about that?
What are you seeing from those quarterbacks back?
You know, the quarterbacks, they're making strides. You know, those guys are young. You know, they're learning, and they're coming along. The biggest thing they have to do is, you know, just settle down and realize that and slow the game down for them, basically. And, you know, those guys are getting better.
There's a lot of the phrase explosive plays was thrown around a lot of Coach Davis' presser there. What do you guys as a receiving unit have to do to make those explosive plays that maybe didn't happen as frequently as they needed to last year?
We have to be in the right place at the right time. We have to read the coverages on our vertical games. You know, they play in cover 2, we do something, as opposed to if they play cover 3 or cover 1, things like that. And we have to just expect to make those plays now.
Are you seeing more downfield stuff this year than last year? I mean, everything last year seemed to be short. Are they working down more?
Yeah, we're working on that every single day. We're catching balls in on-air drills, and you know, they're emphasizing that more, and they want the quarterbacks to look for it. They want us to expect to get them. So we're definitely making more downfield plays right now.
Have you seen just Mark Wiseman just look more comfortable than he did a year ago? He kind of teamwork together,
sure.
I guess.
Yeah, I think we have good chemistry, and I think we've had it for a while now. We're just continuing to build it and become better players individually and collectively.
Now, a lot farther into spring ball, where have you guys really progressed as a defense and gotten a lot of growth?
I think, you know, just from our football knowledge perspective and X's and O's, and just, you know, we're a pretty young team still, and I think this has been a big period for us to be able to take some of the guys that aren't experienced and just kind of bring them up to speed and, you know, really kind of get settled in and have a better kind of knowledge base as far as what we're trying to do, and that's going to make us more competitive in the fall if everybody has a better knowledge base.
Is the energy and enthusiasm better now that you're kind of further away from last year?